Hey knitters, welcome to episode 183 of the Knitty McPurly Podcast. I'm your host, Devin Ventry. You can find me at KnittyMcPurly.com. I am Knitty McPurly on Instagram, and if you want to email me, I am Devin at KnittyMcPurly.com. Welcome to episode 183. It is 1 million degrees here today, which is perfect because I am wearing my summer vibe top, you might have noticed. Check it. So it is cropped, but I'm wearing it with some high-waisted pants. I kind of like this trend. What do you think? These are short pants, so I'm not too hot. The good thing about all these colors is you can wear bottoms of any one of them. I had it on with shorts this color on Instagram. Here are those pictures that I posted to Instagram in case you're not on Instagram or if you missed them. They came out super good. I love the ones with Rocky because he is the world's greatest dog. I also have, I have a skirt this color, Fontaine. I have a skirt trinket color, and I'm wearing, I don't know if you can tell with all this light, but these pants are kind of the color of Dusty right here, but I love it. It came out so good. I'm so happy with it. The best part is that it is Fiji fingering weight yarn. And this is the greatest summer yarn in the world because 100% cotton is too crunchy and it's too hard on your hands. There's no give to cotton, but you mix it with wool and it is so great. It feels like a t-shirt. Do you know how if you wear a fingering weight sweater in the summer, you're gonna be too hot if it's 100% wool? I know we like to pretend that they're for summer, and they are for the air conditioning or the days that it's just not that hot. But on days like today, when you open the door and you feel like you are literally in an oven, I can wear this shirt and I don't feel too hot. It feels like I'm wearing any other normal shirt. It's not as good as like a bathing suit, but it's as good as any regular shirt. My husband and I are going out tonight. It's actually Friday. I'm filming this on Friday because we have a swim meet on Saturday. And our priest is leaving, so we're having a party for him. So the weekend is just crazy. So I'm filming this on Friday, and I want to talk about some things that I'm going to do this weekend. But anyway, we're going out tonight, and I am wearing my new summer vibe top. Which reminds me, yesterday was the last day for the Summer Vibe Knit Along. Did you knit along with us? If you did, then you were in the giveaway. It wasn't very many people. Not very many people finished, which was good for those people who did finish because it gave them a better chance at winning the prize, which is a $50 Knitty McPurly gift card. I assigned each finisher a number, and then I used a random number generator, and the winner of the $50 gift card is Emily D. St. Aubin, who is Knock Knits over on Instagram. Congratulations, Emily. I actually love that Emily won because she made just the best Instagram videos of this sweater. Like, they were so good. She showed her progress and her finished sweater, and they just look so good. I don't know how to get them on here. Like, I don't know how to save them and put them in the video, but she's Knock Knits over on Instagram. Go follow her. She has a great account, super fun, lots of great stuff in there. So anyway, moving right along to progress and shop news. It is officially summer. It is June 22nd and summer has officially begun. I don't know where June went. It just kind of fell away. Crazy. But there is some amazing hand balm in the shop. And I have heard from knitters that it's from some of the knitters that it is their all-time favorite scent. This scent is called The Porch. And it is like geranium and lemongrass, a hint of clove, and some lilac. And all of these scents, mosquitoes do not like. Julie from Colorado said she was sitting outside and she's like, there's not a mosquito in sight. she also said that she's a big fan of my balm, and she's like, I'm started to putting it all over my whole body now, just to use what I already have, because you keep coming out with good new ones, and I always want to buy them. So these are available in the shop now if you want to get them. It smells so good. It's floral, but it's light, and it's just a very fresh smell. Oh, so good. June's color of the month. We're coming to the end of June. So just a wee reminder of what June's color of the month looks like. I got a couple of stray little stringies here. Tuck those guys in. It's a flowery, porch-inspired yarn with a beautiful green mini if you want the sock set. And it comes also in DK and fingering weight. So June's color of the month will be going away. If you want it, go and get it. Yes, there are 2 measly skeins of May left in DK. Look at May. May is so beautiful. It's like a lot of different purples, green, speckles, meadow speckles. There's pink in there. If you are in the market for a couple skeins of the color of the month from May and DK, those are in the shop right now. July's color of the month, I'm doing a lot because I know you guys are super into July. We are making July Patriotic Month here at Knitty McPurly. So the color of the month, it's going to be the Constitution plus the Declaration of Independence plus OD green of the armed forces plus the red and blue of the flag, the red of the blood of those who have died to protect the freedom of the greatest country in the entire world. No offense, other countries, you guys know I love you, but our country is the greatest one in the whole world. So if you're into that, which I super am, that's going to be July's color of the month. So the sock set is going to have 2 20-gram minis. So that's going to up the price of the sock set to $40. Normally it's $34 with just the 1 mini, but with the extra mini, because we have to have red and blue. We've got to have the red and the blue in there. That is going to be available as a sock set, also in DK and Frankfurt fingering weight as always. That will be available July 1st, so keep an eye out for that. I haven't been sending out many newsletters because it's been crazy busy. The shift from the school year to the summer is always a big shift. And this year it's been a lot. It's been dance camp and swim and grammar camp, and it's been a lot of stuff. But it's been good. It's been good. I can't complain. My life is amazing. I can't complain at all. So, okay, regarding the color of the month, I'm at like May, June, July. I'm 15 months in to the color of the month. I started April of last year. And I have a very important question for you, and I would love it if you have an opinion, if you could vote in the comments below. Here are the options with the color of the month. We can either continue doing it just as we have been, where there's a color of the month every month, and there it is. If you want it, you buy it. If you don't, fine. But a lot of you have requested a subscription service. So my original thought was to start that in January when we go through that Summerly book. What's the book called? The Sock Project. We're going to go through the Summerly book in 2025. That's what we're doing. And that's going to be a subscription box. So I originally was going to start it the same as that, but I also have a knitting retreat in January, in case you hadn't heard, in Grapevine, Texas. And I thought that's kind of a lot of stuff to do in January. So why don't I make my life a little easier and start the color of the month subscription in September, which is in like 2.5 months, or in March of next year. So with a little bit of space. So these are the 3 choices, okay? Keep it like it is, just as it is. Second choice is start the subscription box in September. Third choice is start the subscription box in March. So for the subscription box, here's what I'm thinking. You'd pick whether you want sock sets or 1 or 2 skeins of DK or 1 or 2 skeins of fingering. I haven't exactly figured out the whole subscription thing. I need to like get in there and figure it out, but that's the plan. You pick what you want and you can choose, I don't know whether it goes month to month or you choose like, I want this many months. I don't know. But it would come with a balm of the month that is seasonal, that has, and it would all go together, the balm and the yarn, and it would be a size that I don't normally stock. It would be a tin, but this is a 2-ounce tin, and the balm that would come with the subscription box would be a 1-ounce tin, so it'd be a little bit smaller. What do you think? Let me know, because I'm really open to any of those things. All of those things sound great to me, but I don't want to change it and have people be like, what? We really wanted it to be this way. So let me know what you think. And I'll probably just go with the majority because like I said, it's all the same to me. I just want you guys to get the yarn and the hand balm that you need. You got to take care of your hands because these hands have to knit all the things. So we've got to keep them not only healthy, but beautiful and young looking, right? Okay, vote in the comments. I can't wait to see what you say about that. All right. With regard to my personal knitting, I am still working on the Jupiter crop that I showed before by Caitlin Hunter. This sweater is so pretty. And I am almost to the part where we divide for the sleeves. Now, I told you last time that I was not going to do the last increase, but then I forgot and I just did it. And I was like, I'm just gonna go with it. It's gonna make my sweater a little bit bigger, but I think it's fine. I actually am thinking that it might be cute, and I don't know if it will work, but if it ends up being a little bit bigger, I'm going to omit the sleeves. The Jupiter crop has a sleeve like this. I am just gonna do a cap sleeve. But what if when I go to do the ribbing, what if I decrease a little first to bring the sleeve in so it's almost like a little puff? That would be cute, right? I might do that. We'll see. The reason that my sweater got big is because the color work, my gauge is just bigger. I did the gauge and I did not swatch. I just used the gauge that I know that I get with this yarn, with these needles, but not color work. As soon as you do color work, for me anyway, my stitches open up. Like they're just bigger. So that's what went wrong there. And I'm really fine with it. Gosh, I love these colors so much. Isn't it interesting that these are the leftovers from this, but it looks really different? Because here, I feel like the background color is the Jovis, which is the white. And here, it's the River Rock, which is more of a brown. Another thing is that I keep dropping stitches, and that just annoys the heck out of me. I've got to go back and figure out, okay, what stitches, what colors got dropped, and I got to redo them all the way up. And that's really annoying. I've got one coming up. Oh, is this it? Where is it? Oh, here. See that drop stitch there? It's just so annoying. And I feel like he'll be safe if I leave him alone. He'll be safe until I get to him because I'm almost there. I'm like 30 stitches away. And then I can fix him. But part of me wants to stick something in there to make sure that it doesn't drop down anymore. But I probably won't. What do you do when you drop a stitch? You know, another option, and I am not above telling you that I sometimes do this, you guys know, is to put a thread through it and pull it to the inside of the sweater, weave it in, and then just when I get there, just cast on a new stitch. Are you judging me right now? It's okay. Do you understand what I mean? Where I'm basically just hiding it. I'm just kind of hiding it. I tend to do that if it's dropped too far back and I've already compensated for it. And I'm like, well, geez, what do I do with it? I just take it to the inside of the sweater and weave, put a thread through it and weave the ends of that thread in so that it's hidden. And you can also, when you weave it in, kind of shore up any gapping that you have between stitches. In this circumstance, it's only like 3 rows down. So it's not gonna be hard for me just to redo those stitches once I get to it. But anyway, that's where that is. It's really fun. I really like this top. A lot of you have said, here's a picture of it in case you haven't seen it before. It's a really, really cute top by Caitlin Hunter. I'm modifying mine a little bit. Hers is sport weight, mine's fingering weight. I talked last time about adjusting your needle size and pattern size to get what you want in the end, or thereabouts. If you're super, super picky about size, I don't know, you'd have to just swatch. Swatching would be your best friend if you're super picky about size. I'm not all that picky, so it's good. I've really, really been enjoying it. Okay, also, this is very important. Wait, I'm gonna talk about that in a minute. First, I wanna show you the hat that I think I'm gonna cast on for little baby Dean. It's the sock head hat. I thought it was by Woolly Wormhead, but I feel like the name has changed. Is it still by Woolly Wormhead? I knit this hat a long time ago. It's a free pattern over on Ravelry. It's just a sock yarn hat, many, many sizes. It is a 1-page download, which is really nice. Not a lot of extra pictures and stuff to deal with, just a 1-page hat pattern, very simple. It has a really tall I think it's a 1x1 rib brim, and then you just do a whole bunch of stockinette and then you decrease. However, I'm going to do ribbing up the whole hat because I want it to fit snugly and also to fit over many different sizes. So that is a cast on that I plan to cast on tonight, and in a minute, after, as a second part to my topic of the week, I'll tell you why I want to do that tonight. Okay, moving right along to the topic of the week. This is kind of a selfish topic of the week and another thing that I would love for you to comment on. Leave as many comments as you want. It doesn't bother me if you already commented and you want to comment again. That's totally fine. I'm going to be teaching a class on changing patterns to suit what you want. And I thought of a bunch of things that people generally like to change, like the gauge. You know, if you want to change the yarn or the needle, which essentially changes the gauge. Sometimes a pattern is written flat and you want to convert it to working in the round. That's another thing. Sometimes we want to add shaping to a sweater. Sometimes we want to remove shaping from a sweater. We want to use a different increase or decrease than the one that the pattern suggests. And sometimes that's totally fine. Other times it might look a little bit awkward. So definitely I would talk about that. And the last thing I thought of that people often like to change about a pattern is the cast on or the bind off. So, you know, just brainstorming, like these are the things that people generally want to change. Is there anything else that when you read a pattern, you want to change about it? Because I would love to cover all the bases in my class. I don't want to leave holes. People say, well, what about this? What about this? And, you know, I don't like to be caught unawares. I like to do my research and know everything I want to talk about going in. So if you can think of anything else that I didn't just name there, gauge, converting to working in the round, changing for shaping, changing the increases and decreases, cast-ons and bind-offs. That's what I came up with. But if you can come up with anything else and you want to share it with me in the comments, that would be amazing. Thanks in advance. Okay, this is what I'm thinking for Little Dean's hat. So I thought I would do, honestly, the hat pattern is so simple. All I really needed to know is how many stitches to cast on and how long to work before I start the decreases. That's really it. That's all I need. And this free pattern, the sock head hat, is great for that. So tomorrow morning at the swim meet, I am volunteering in the clerk of course for half of the meet. So I thought, well, that's kind of a boring job. Basically, you have to corral the swimmers before their event so that they can, you know, walk up in order and get in their lane and know where to swim. So I thought, but it's kind of boring. There's a lot of standing around. So I thought, what if tonight I cast on the sock head hat and tomorrow I have some sort of a knitting holster that will allow me to knit while I am doing this volunteer position. So I thought, I have this, and honestly, right what I'm doing right now, this is all the thinking that I've done on it so far. I have this thing that I use when I walk, and I can hold, it's got like a water bottle slot here, and then it's got a phone pocket, and there's another pocket there that's like a little bit bigger. Okay, so this is essentially a holster for my yarn. So I feel like let's say this is a Freetown fingering leftover, and it's in trinket, and I'm thinking I might do a hat for Dean out of this because it would match the sweater that I made for him. Little baby Dean is going to be born in August if you're new here, and he is my daughter's best friend's new baby. So I thought if I could, and I can do a center pull, right, so that it doesn't move around, put my yarn in there, and I could even tuck it down in there, because if I have the center pull, I can knit, and then maybe I could use this water bottle holder has like cutouts, see? But I feel like if I had to set it down, because it is a new cast on, there's not gonna be much to it, I could just set it in there. What do you think? And then I can knit, put it in here. What do you think? Yarn holster? Why does this not exist? Like, why am I forced to have a makeshift yarn holster? Surely these exist somewhere. Why do I not have one? I don't know. But it needs to be like easy, not, there is the one where you can, have it hanging on your arm with the skein, but that's gonna be too fiddly for my situation. I need to be able to have the full attention on what I need to do when I need that, and also to be able to just pick it up and mindlessly knit one color, small project at the same time. So, yarn holster. I love it. All right, moving right along to knitting fantasies. My first pick is the Armor Cardigan by Ankastrick. I was looking on Ravelry, which I don't always do, but I was just looking through to see what was there, and there was a lot of things I was not interested in at all. But I saw this, and the thing that got me is that it has a zipper. It has directions for either buttons or a zipper if you don't want the zipper. But if you don't want the zipper, that's insane, because a zipper is inherently better than buttons. It closes all the way up. It sits really well when it is both zipped and unzipped, as it looks from the pictures anyway. This is a DK weight held together with a lace weight. So like a DK with the Surrey silk to give it a little bit of a halo. So, which is just a great combination. It's gonna go really fast because it's DK, also has a halo that just looks so pretty. I love this pattern. I don't know what the construction is. I don't know what the stitch pattern is, but it appears to kind of go on the bias, like it's like a diagonal. It just looks really, really cool. It is 6 pounds 90 currently, comes in 9 sizes, and I just love it. My second pick is truly a knitting fantasy because I will never knit this. This kind of this kind of lace pattern is not something that I'm interested in knitting right now, but maybe you are. This is the Wild Swan Shawl. It is by Annalise Maygard and Nim Teasdale. And if you go on Ravelry, there are over 1,000 projects. So it is a free pattern. It's a really, really beautiful, intricate shawl. It is in a fingering weight yarn. But there are a ton of projects, so that speaks to it. Sometimes with patterns you get what you pay for, and a free pattern is just sometimes not good. It doesn't appear that that's the case here because, like I said, a ton of people have already knit it. Yeah, it is really, really pretty. I would love to have one in black or like a dark gray or maybe a white, something really neutral that I could wear to dress up. I think it would be a great thing to have in your closet. However, I've got no interest in knitting something like this right now. So it is truly just a fantasy. All right. So here's what happened. I am working through my so here's what happened stories. I apologize. I am behind on email again, you guys. I am really sorry. I go through phases where I'm right on top of it. Like every day I'm like, yes, 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 knock those emails out. And then sometimes they'll start to pile up. And you know what happens when things start to pile up? They just pile up more. So I do apologize. I'm a little behind in replying. This is from a wonderful podcast watcher named Joanne, and she sent me this on May 31st. Joanne, thank you so much for this. I wonder if Joanne is in the UK, possibly, maybe. I'm not exactly sure, I'm just guessing. So she says, so here's what happened. My darling sister, Chrissy, learned to spin, and she bought a merino silk braid of fiber for me and asked, would I like her to spin it for me, or do I want to use it to felt something? I chose the spin. Sometime later, she gave me the most beautiful skein of yarn. At the next yarn festival, I bought some yarn in lamb's wool teal shades that I thought would complement it so I could make a bigger project. I didn't want to make just a little scarf or a cowl. It was beautiful and needed to be shown off. When I started the shawl, some of the newly purchased yarns were not vibrant enough for the deep purple and teals in my hand-spun skein, so they went back into the wait for a project box, or stash, right? I messaged the dyer of those skeins to see if she had more. She replied that she was attending a market which was near my home, so I planned to attend, of course. By chance, my sister was also planning to attend, so we met up and both bought more of that lamb's wool, this time in gray shades that was the reject from Project 1. Sometime later, Chrissy said what she had purchased was not suitable for her project, so would I like to have it? Yes, please. Later, I realized that with 4 skeins of fine fingering weight yarn, I would have enough for a colorwork sweater. So I found a pattern I liked and knitted the sweater. This is beautiful. And then Joanne brings up a very good point. She says, naturally, the model was a pretty young thing, half my size or less, and was wearing it with 10 inches of positive ease, not the look I wanted on my body. So let me just stop her there and say, when I was looking for knitting fantasies today, there were 2 things in particular that I found. First was this one. I thought this sweater was so pretty, but part of the reason that it's pretty is that it is on a stick thin model. If you are built like a stick, big flowy baggy clothes will look great on you because everything looks great on you. But the rest of the 95% of the population is like, I don't want to wear that. I'm just going to look giant. So I get it. Another one I found, I don't know if I can find this one again. Hopefully I can. The only thing I liked, I was drawn to the picture, but the only thing I liked about it was the model. Like the model looks beautiful and she's making the sweater look beautiful, but I don't really like the sweater. She just looks great in it because this particular person would look great in absolutely anything you put on her. So that is the trouble with models, is that it's sometimes hard to see it on a normal person. I get it. Joanne says, so I proceeded to knit it with about 3 inches of ease and 4 inches less armhole and 3/4 sleeves. That is a great plan. If you have a bigger bust or you just want something more fitted because it looks better, definitely go down a size or go down a needle size or do what you need to do to bring the sweater in so that it's not so bulky. Just because the bulky thing looks great on the stick model, it's not gonna look good on a normal person because that's just too much sweater. Photos attached, and I've showed that to you already. She says, I wore it a few times, but was not happy with the fit. I seemed to be constantly pulling it down and it wanted to creep upward all the time. The next autumn, I shared with my online knit group and requested suggestions to fix it. They were varied, but most involved a substantial reknit, which I was not in the mood for. But I put in a sock needle lifeline to start and then put it back in the bag for a year or 18 months. I couldn't face it. Word, sister, I totally get it. A number of times I considered steeking it and knitting extra bits, going in different directions so I could wear it, but I couldn't bring myself to. I get it, because that's a risk. So it sat in its cute little bag with the leftovers of the skeins and the pattern on the shelf, between me and the mirror, so it was never far from view. That's a good idea. Then in late April 2024, it occurred to me that my other sister, Heather, was the one who would suit the colors in that sweater, and she had just moved to a colder part of the country. She is a slimmer build than I am, and she just might like it. So early in May, we both traveled to meet at an event for her husband's family, and when we had some time alone, I got the sweater out and asked if she thought that she might like it. I offered to sew in the ends and knit the sleeves to the wrist, etc., but she was so delighted that she said she will do all that herself. I'm so happy that my sweater has a loving home to live in, and she is making a hat with the leftovers to wear with the sweater. P.S. If you want to know why I didn't offer it to Chrissy, she finds wool too itchy to wear, sadly. I have made her a quilt, so she also has some handmade love this year too. The beautiful hand-spun knitted up into a wrap, which I love. I love how she's like, please don't think that I am favoring Heather over Chrissy, because I love both of my sisters. That is really sweet. I pray that someday my daughters love each other that much to make sure that people understand that they love these sisters equally. Right now, when everybody's under the same roof, it's just not quite the same. Thank you so much, Joanne. That was a wonderful story. Thank you for sharing your knitting with us. We are the group of people who love to see it the most. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. I hope you get some great knitting done. And I can't wait to tell you about how my knitting holster goes tomorrow at the swim meet. See you next time, knitters. Bye.